to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. I am Bethan and today I'm in my kitchen and I'm going to be making a Thai squash curry. So let me show you the ingredients I'm going to use and how I'm going to do it. There are a fair amount of ingredients in this recipe, but quite a lot of the ingredients go towards making the Thai curry paste. So I'll talk you through them now. These are coriander stems and we'll be separating the leaves from the stem. We have 200 millilitres of light coconut milk. We have black pepper for grinding. We have a bowl of squash. This is Turks Turban squash, and if you want to know how I roasted it, please check the information above. It should drop down any second now, or already dropped down. I've got 6 shallots, 2 limes, 2 stems of lemongrass, 1 chilli, 1 thumb-sized piece of ginger. I'll be using 4 garlic cloves. I've got mushrooms, Swiss chard, 2 packs of fine rice noodles, which are ready to just pop into the curry at the last minute. I'll be using 3 tablespoons of soy sauce and 300 millilitres of water. Like I said, it may seem like a lot of ingredients, but it's not once you've made the paste, which is where we're going to start off. So I'll talk you through how I'm going to do that now. So we start off by separating the stems of the coriander from the leaves, and we'll just leave them to one side and we'll add the tops right at the very end. And now I'm just going to slice up the coriander stems and put them into the mixer. Again, the same with the lemongrass, we'll discard those end bits and we'll just take off this first first layer, because it can be quite tough where it's been exposed. Just chopping up the lemongrass. I chop up all the ingredients quite small just to help the food processor out, because there's only so much you can do, and if you give it a bit of a helping hand you'll get smaller chunks at the end. Next is the zest of 2 limes, and we'll also be using some lime juice at the end, so don't throw the limes away just yet. Next is the thumb-sized piece of ginger. If you've never peeled ginger before, it's always much easier to just use a spoon and do it this way than use a peeler or a knife, as you retain quite a lot of the ginger, whereas with a knife you peel a load of it away. And again, chop it up fairly small. And then add it to the blender. Next is 4 garlic cloves, so just skin the garlic. And then finally chop it. And once all that is chopped up, you've guessed it, into the pot with the others. You will see a pattern emerging here. Next we're going to peel and finally dice the shallots. And finally the chilli. Now if you don't like chilli or hot food, you can always leave this out and just go with the fragrant lot we've just put in there. Oh, very good. Now in case you're wondering why this chilli looks a bit weird, it's because it's actually been in my freezer. It's from a harvest last year, so it's that's why it hasn't got much rigidity on it. It still packs a punch. Get out seeds. I make sure I get all my seeds out because I don't like it that hot. And it'll be hot enough with just the skin. And finally 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. This is light soy sauce. Before I mix up the paste, I'm just going to put my frying pan, well it's more like a wok, on to heat up. I'm going to put it on at number 5. This is an induction hob, so I'm going to use number 5, which is sort of a low to medium heat. So whatever your oven uses or your hob uses, use a sort of low to medium heat. And I will mix up this paste. So for this, I'm using a sort of blender, or you could use a food processor, or you could use a pestle and mortar, whichever you have to hand. Now I'm going to add the mix to the frying pan and leave it cook away for about 5 minutes. Just going to add a drop of water because it looks a bit dry. And while the paste is cooking away for 5 minutes, I'm just going to cut the stalks away from the leaves on the Swiss chard and cut up the stalks and add them to the pan to cook, leaving the leaves to one side for later. So while that cooks away, oh, those onions are really strong, those shallots are really strong. So next time you see me, I might be like panda eyes crying. But anyway, I'm going to get on with cutting up the mushrooms now. Just cutting the limes in half and the Swiss chard into very small pieces to add later on. So the chard and the paste has been cooking for about 5 minutes now. And I'm going to put in the coconut milk and the water. And I'll just use some of the water too. make sure I got enough coconut milk. So I'm just going to mix all this together and then leave it to simmer for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. So the low-fat coconut milk and the water have been simmering away together for about 3 or 4 minutes now, so they are combined. So I'm going to add the lime leaves and a bit of black pepper, and then I'll just bring the heat up to 6. So it'll be sort of like a bit high medium heat, and I'll just leave that simmer away for about 5 more minutes. So I'm just going to reduce the heat back down to medium, so number 5, and I'm now going to add the squash. Wait for it. And the mushrooms and chard. Just breaking up any big lumps. Right, I'm going to leave the mushrooms cook for about 4 minutes and then I'll add the noodles. Now it's time to add the noodles to the curry and give them about 2 to 3 minutes to cook and also to soak up some of that juice. You could of course do this without noodles. You could use boiled rice and just have it as a side dish. And there are lots of substitutes you could make for the ingredients if you didn't like them. So I'm going to turn the heat down now to about 3, so that's very low, just really so that it keeps warm. And I'm going to add the lime juice. And lastly, the handful of coriander. And just before serving, remove the lime leaves if you can find them. And now for the moment of truth. Let's give it a try. I will add at this point, maybe I should have put some low-fat natural yogurt in the ingredients list, because you might want that on hand if it's too hot for you, and just mix it through the curry as it does cool it a bit. Oh, it's not too bad actually. It's not as fierce as the last one I made, which is quite good. It's lovely and fresh. You can taste that lime in it, but the squash mixes through it, so it gives it that sweetness, but also a bit savoury at the same time, with the zing of the lime and the heat of the chilli. It's quite nice actually. I'm gonna dish myself up a portion of it now and maybe I'll dish you up a portion, Mike, who is behind the camera, because he prefers curry to me. So that is my, what did I call it? A Thai squash curry. Please give it a go if you have any squash left over. You don't have to use Turks Turban squash. You can use butternut squash. Most places sell them now. And if you don't like Swiss chard, you can use spinach. And if you don't like mushrooms, you could put some chickpeas in it. Or just mix it up as much as you like. But try and keep the Thai paste as it is, because that's sort of essential to the flavouring. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I'm hoping to do a couple more in this series of squash recipes, since I did cook up that Turks Turban squash the other day and I have got quite a bit of it left over. So the next recipe I'll probably be doing with it will be a risotto. It will be a squash risotto. So until then, all I can say about my squash curry is lovely job. Please give it a go.